Hi Flosstube. I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? I'm hoping he's gonna lay down and nap on my lap. Let's see. You gonna lay down? There we go. Hi. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jess. I am KorrysLittleShop Jess here and on Instagram. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm here to talk to you about plants. For anyone who is new, I am basically doing a theme every month for the whole of 2026. I'm really enjoying it so far, so there's a good chance this might become a permanent feature. Last year I did a couple, so we had, what did we do? We had March Madness, we had Monogamous May, which we're currently now in for the second year. We did the Abandoned Sal for August, so Abandoned Sal August. And the last couple of years I've done 12 Starts of Christmas in December. So yeah, done a few before. Some of those are returning, some of them are not. I'm trying to work out how to sit so that he's not gonna, there we go. I realise I look really small, but I can't sit closer to the desk without without squishing him. So we are currently in May, and I am here to talk through the remaining months of the year. So up until now, we've had Just Do It January, which was a bit of a spring clean. Those whips that are almost done, you just need to cross off the last bit, do the back stitch. The ones that you never pick up, just UFO them, get them gone, just get it all out the way. January. February was FFO February. I should say here, the whole point of these themes is to give me some focus and get more done on that thing than I would have without the theme. So for example, January helped me cross a bunch off of my whip list. Some of that was UFOing, some of it was actual finishing the stitching. Some of it was not stitching related. I got rid of my box of doom of clothes that has been kicking around the house for like 3 years, of things I just needed to try on and either put them in the charity shop box or put them back in my drawer and be done with it. So yeah, it doesn't have to just stay stitching themed. FFO February didn't go as well as I would have liked, but again, I got more done than if I hadn't set that intention. So yeah, FFO February got a few things off my finished but not FFO'd pile. March Madness, I've already mentioned, is a bracket tournament where you have your whips face off against each other in Instagram stories, and you have your followers vote to decide which one moves on to the next round. And that was a repeat from last year because I really enjoyed it in 2025. April was April the Colours, where we rotated through the rainbow and did like a day on each rainbow colour. Although again, we adjust when needed, so we adjusted towards the end of the month on that particular plan. And then this month, May, is Monogamous May, so I am working exclusively on Gamer Nouveau, which I will show up here, to try and get 10% done, which means about 20,000 stitches, which is insane. I've never done that many before, but we're gonna give it a go. So for the rest of the year, I've already mentioned August, the Abandoned Sal, we're going to do that one again. I'll talk a bit more about it in a second. December, we are completely changing up this year. I'm going to briefly talk about it now because I don't want it to be a downer at the end. But being on Flosstube in December is hard. It is hard work. And much as I try not to care about the numbers, off you get, good boy. Much as I try really hard to not care about the numbers, whenever you open YouTube Studio to reply to comments, which I enjoy doing, I love engaging with you guys, the numbers are kind of shoved down your throat. And doing like daily filming like I have last 2 years, I think, it's a lot of effort, and the editing, and it's every day. This last year I got partway through and was like, I feel ill, I'm knackered, there's too much going on, I can't keep up with it. So we put a pause in, and I did finish it off after Christmas. But it was a lot. And because there are so many people doing Flossmas, there's so much content, so many daily uploads, it does feel like anything you put on just kind of gets lost in all the noise. I've decided this year it's not what I want to do. I don't want that to be my run up to Christmas. So we're sacking it off. And I will come back to what I'm doing instead when I get round to the end of the year. The last thing I'm going to mention before I properly get into talking about each month is I am also going to cover a teeny bit of 2027 plans, which feels insane because it's the start of May. So I am now planning like 8 months in advance, but it's a very broad plan. But I'm going to talk about that at the end. So starting with June, which is next month, what are we doing? So for this one, I literally had to Google a dictionary website and get it to give me a list of all the common J words because I was stumped. I really struggled with this one, but dictionary to the rescue. We are doing Jewel Tone June. So basically bright poppy colours, and some of the reason for this is, as you will have seen a second ago, Gamer is quite like muted tones. I don't know how to pronounce, is it sepia? Sepia? It's quite like muted neutral tones. And like, I absolutely adore Gamer, but I am a bright colours girly. Like I like the bright colours and the bold colours and the really rich colours. So yeah, Jewel Tone June is my balance to spending a whole month on Monogamous May. So a couple of the projects that I've noted down for it. So Greenhouse of Oddities, I am doing this on a gorgeous rich yellow fabric. Buzz Block Party, we have, again, it's on a gorgeous fabric, like a beautiful like rich blue colour. And then Snip Snip, which is a little bit left field. It's not jewel tones, I guess, but it is sparkly, so like jewellery, precious metals, precious jewels, that kind of, that's the link in my head. But yeah, that one's fully done in metallics, like each pair of scissors in a different metallic. I also have 2 model stitches to finish, to work on in June, which do both fit that jewel tone kind of theme. So that is the plan. I'm sure there will be other whips that crop up in there. And I'll say at this point, I am planning to carry on Whip Go and Flosstube Frenzy throughout all of this. So none of these months will be like exclusively to the theme. Gaming, not gamer, gaming is monochrome, although that is on a purple, a lovely purple fabric, so I guess that is jewel tones. I was going to say that's a monochrome piece, so it doesn't really fit the jewel tone vibe, but by the by, we're carrying on with those with Whip Go and Flosstube Frenzy alongside these themes. So that is June, Jewel Tone June. July, we are going for Jolly July. This is not one that I'm going to make any claim to having come up with. I have no idea who did, but we are doing Christmas and winter theme in July to mark the halfway point to, well, slightly past the halfway point to Christmas. I only have 2 relevant whips for this. It's the only month where I've sort of penciled in maybe new starts. So we have my Christmas crackers from Victoria Sampler. That one is, it's like a 4-part collection, I guess, and I've done 2 of them. The 2 that I've done had slightly more stitches, so I'm a little past the halfway mark. But I do need to source alternative fabric. I think the reason I didn't love stitching these is they use pearl cotton on Weeks Dye Work. I did them on Weeks Dye Works linen, and I think the pearl cotton has a certain amount of, I don't know what the right word is, it's not like stiff, but like it naturally wants to be straight. Like if you try and fold it in half, it'll ping back open kind of thing. Yeah, so springiness, I guess, of the pearl cotton and the softness and like fineness of the Weeks Dye Works linen. It was almost like a battle of like which was going to cave to the other, and I don't think I like that. I think the fabric caved to the pearl cotton. So I think I want an even weave that's got a little bit more structure to it for the 3rd and 4th Christmas crackers. The other Christmas one I already have is Quaker Snowflakes. This is one of my Flosstube Frenzy pieces. It's assigned to Sherry from Just So Sherry. And I think the plan for that one is very briefly for anyone who's not been here previously and heard the way I'm doing this. Any videos, for example, that Sherry posts in May, I will stitch in June. Any that she posts in June, I will do the stitches for those in July. So any that Sherry posts in June, when I do them in July, they're going to get double the beads. So that's how I'm going to do a nod to making some extra progress without just steamrolling the rest of it. And then my couple of new starts, I have some wooden blanks for making gift labels for my family so that they're like reusable Christmas gift tags. I made a start on one of them and hated it. I picked a really bad pattern with fractional stitches and tried to make it work and it just didn't. Don't recommend that. Fractional stitches on a wooden blank, there's no way to fudge that. Yeah, it was bad. So I might have another crack at those. I can't remember whose channel or where I've seen this recently, but I saw someone stitching a really beautiful hot chocolate mug. And I have a feeling it was like a full-on massive, very detailed full coverage. But I've got like a little bit of a stitchy wall coming together in my downstairs hallway. And I think like a really pretty Christmas mug, like the whipped cream and the flake kind of vibe, would be a really cute, like small edition. That feels like it's really hard to judge. Like a 5x5, 6x6 kind of size. Yeah, I think that would be a really cute addition. I did have a brief peruse but couldn't find any that particularly shouted stitch me. So if you know of a pretty hot chocolate mug, Christmas mug, please recommend so that I can pick one to stitch in July. That is all of the plans for July. I'll come back to it, but I'm not wanting to do too many new starts throughout this year. August, I've already mentioned Abandoned Sal August. So this is any stitch alongs that, or any of my projects that have ever been part of a stitch along. So for example, Greenhouse of Oddities is returning. This one, I mean, obviously it was originally a Sal, I didn't stitch it then, but Jo and Emma did this one last year as a sort of self-organised Sal. I think I only stitched on it once last year, so I definitely did not really truly participate or keep up, but I intended to, so that one's going on the list. My version of Floral Etchings I'm doing in neon threads. Lizzie from This Mrs. Fisher Stitches and I picked the threads together, and we're going to each pick a different pattern to use the same colour palette on. Twisted, the rest of these are part of Flosstube Frenzy already, so again these might just get like double stitches for the month. So Twisted Band Sampler was originally part of, I think, Stitch the Rainbow, and is now assigned to Rachel from Talking Dog Stitchery. So Rach, any videos you post in July, they're getting double stitches. Freya is part of the Freya Friday Sal, so Rachel, myself and Kat from Catkin and Lily were, we agreed to stitch this together using hashtag Freya Friday Sal, and that one's assigned to Kat. So again, any video, I possibly dread this one because Kat posts a lot. If she's posting a lot with Freya in during July and I'm then doubling it, I might be doing a lot of stitches on Freya, but we'll see. And then B by Lorna Lane is a Gecko Rouge, and myself and Rosie from Rosie X Stitches were doing this one last year using the incredible hashtag Get Your Gecko Out, which Rosie came up with. I'm still to this day kind of obsessed with the fact that someone had actually used it to post photos of their pet gecko, and we kind of hijacked it with Gecko Rouge stitching. Cracks me up every time. So yeah, I've got 5 on the list there. I don't have a plan for how I'm gonna split up working on them. I might prioritise the Flosstube Frenzy ones. I might prioritise the non-Flosstube Frenzy ones because they're not getting that work every month. We'll see. The nitty gritty is going to get decided closer to the time for most of these. Next up is September, and we are going with Spinner September. So again, nitty gritty to be confirmed closer to the time, but my rough plan is all of my projects that are not in Flosstube Frenzy will go on the wheel, but they will go on the wheel once per 1,000 stitches left in that design. So for example, if a pattern has 5,000 stitches left, it will go on the wheel 5 times. If it has 8,000 stitches left, it will go on 8 times. As far as I can tell looking at my list, which is on the screen behind you, the one that has the most remaining stitches and isn't in Flosstube Frenzy is my light sampler, which has just under 15,000. So that would be the one that goes on the most times. But I'm not going to count up because it will horrify me how many wedges will be on that wheel. But yeah, it means the bigger ones are slightly more likely to get pulled, and I will spin, get a section, stitch 1,000 stitches on it and remove that section, and then spin again, get another one, and so on. So it could be that the same project comes up over and over and over again, and we end up having an unintentional second monogamous month. But yeah, it will mean knocking 1,000 stitches off here and there on some of these projects. And obviously I'm not sure how yet, but I would still be working in the Flosstube Frenzy. I might do like in the mornings before work, I spend my couple of hours then working on Flosstube Frenzy, and then in the evenings I do the spinner projects. October. I'm very proud of this one. If you haven't noticed, I quite like the alliterative names, and I was a bit dubious about what I was gonna be able to come up with for October. We've got Outro October, so the opposite of intro. Basically, it's going to be a month. It's kind of along the lines of Just Do It January, if I'm honest. But yeah, getting things done. We are going to probably do starting with the whip with the fewest stitches left, and we're just going to be monogamous on it till it's done, and then the next one with the next fewest stitches, and we're going to smash that out as well. And I'm basically going to see how far down my whip list we can get, how many finishes we can get. This is also going to be another month of trying to FFO things. I have a stack. I dread to think how many things are in the stack. I could probably find out, but I don't know if I want to. What does Notion say? Notion says I currently have 16 finished but not fully finished projects. Just realised one of those really needs finishing because it's meant to be a gift in like 10 days time. But yeah, we've got 16 on there. Not all of them are going to get fully finished. Some of them are just, they might go in like a portfolio if I ever buy one. But there are definitely some things on there that I could smash out. I also have things that are fully finished but have never made it to the wall. Here's hoping that that's not still the case in October, that I have got around to putting them on the wall at some point in the next, 5 months? But if not, Outro October is their time to shine. Oh, my life. So I've put a few things on here as my current 3 projects that are closest to a finish, but because there's a number of months in between, like, there's a good chance that some of those will have been knocked off already or gotten some progress. They might, like, other things might have gotten progress and be closer to a finish. So that one's more a plan, and we'll see which whips fall into the top spot for that plan. So that's October. November is possibly the one I'm most excited for, and it's a big reason why we're doing Outro October, to try and get the whip count down. We're going to do New Designer November. This is going to replace all the new starts that I normally do in December. I'm gradually building what I'm sure will become an unwieldy list of designers that I have seen and I love, but I've never got around to stitching anything from them. So we currently have 14 on the list. I'm going to quickly rattle through all of them. Some of these I have a specific pattern of theirs that I've seen that I want to do. For others, it's just I always see their designs and I love their style. I've just never got around to actually picking one to do. So from the top, Catkin and Lily is number 1. We've got Long Dog. I've never done a Long Dog. That one I have a very specific plan for and I'm very excited for it. Modern Folk Embroidery, Nathanolu. I'm not sure if I've pronounced that correctly, apologies if not. Rebel Stitcher, Shannon Christine, Shepherd's Bush, Pigeon Coop Designs, Old Barn Stitch & Co, Nara X Stitch, Autumn Lane Stitchery, Lindy Stitches, Witchy Stitcher, and Satsuma Street. So there are 14 on there and we're only in May. There's like a whole 4 months between now and then. Can I count? 5 months. Oh God. There's 5 months between now and then. I've only been keeping this list for about 3 weeks. I dread to think the state of the list by the time we get to the 1st of November. That's not to say I'm going to start things from all of those designers. I'm basically just capturing options. When we get to sort of September, October time, I'll start like shifting them around in order within the list, to put the ones that, like, for example, my Long Dog, like, I know exactly what fabric I want to use, I know what thread I'm using, I've got the pattern, I could start that tomorrow. Well, I couldn't because I don't have the thread or the fabric, but conceptually I'm excited to start that one tomorrow. Catkin and Lily, I want to do her little Joy snow globe that she released, I think this winter just gone. I saw it and I loved it, and I think I saw it too late to work it into my 12 Starts of Christmas. But it's kind of like a little 3D, like you stitch different layers and then stick them together with little spongy sticky pad things, so that you get the depth of the snow globe. So there's some that I like, we have the plans, we have the materials, or we know what materials we're going to buy. There are others where I just have like Pigeon Coop Designs. I just have Pigeon Coop Designs because I like their designs. I've just never like had a proper scroll and picked one. So we'll do some shuffling. I'll do some browsing and pick like a favourite pattern from each designer, and then we'll start the ranking things being bumped up and down. And depending on how much I manage to get the whip list down between now and then will probably influence how many starts I do. It could be like one every 3 days, it could be one a week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see closer to the time. But I'm very excited for that. Like, I'm so excited for the Long Dog. I'm going to be stitching it in a very unconventional way, but I'm so excited for it. Cool. And that brings me back round to December. So as I said at the start, I've done 12 Starts of Christmas. I've done the daily vlogging. My main thing that I really enjoy in December, like from being a kid, I've always loved advent calendars, and I've loved sharing that with you guys the last 2 years. I don't currently I'm not signed up to any Stitchy advent calendars. I don't know if I will this year. I might just have it be like a super quiet month instead. I will probably still do my stockings, and what I might do is when I draw them each day and I get the whip out, I'll take a photo of the before and I'll take a photo of the after, and I might at the very end of the month or the start of January just do like almost like a slideshow of the before and after pictures with some music or something, just to show you the progress that I got. I'm undecided if I'm going to do the New Year's Eve 12 by 12. Again, if I do, it will be something that I tell you about after the fact. because December this year is going to be downtime December. I will basically be offline. I won't be doing daily vlogs. I won't be uploading anything to Flosstube during December. Yeah, we're just going to have a really quiet one, and I'm going to let other people's Flossmas videos have the spotlight, because for me it's a lot of effort, and I do feel like everything on Flosstube just gets drowned out in the noise during December and early January, so I am opting out. I will still be stitching. I'm sure I will still be, like, I don't know actually, I don't know whether this extends to Instagram. I haven't decided that yet. I might still be sharing stuff on Instagram, but I might just have a fully social media free month. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that too. I love coming and doing this, but it's nice to have a planned break. That brings me to the end of 2026, and I am excited for all of these months. I'll be real, there is not one of these that I'm a bit like, oh, that's a bit, like, I'm indifferent to it. I'm excited for all of them for different reasons. 2027, I'm sure there will be other plans. I'm really enjoying the themed months, like Just Do It January, FFO February, April the colours. I've loved all of those so far this year. I didn't love March Madness as much, but I think just March was a really busy month and it was just a bit much. I obviously can't comment on the others yet. We'll see how they go. I might go back to doing the 12 starts of Christmas and the daily vlogs. Who knows? We're gonna wing it. But for now, I'm really enjoying them and I'm looking forward to the rest. My one broad plan that I already have for 2027 is basically my own version of Stitch from Stash. Now, I don't have much stash. I intentionally try not to accumulate lots of stuff. I am very susceptible to being enabled for going to things. Like, Emma is very good at talking me into joining retreats and stitchy days last minute. I'm fairly resistant to seeing someone show something on a Flosstube and being like, I need that now. It does happen, but I could probably count on one or two hands the number of times where I've seen something and been like, must buy immediately. I'm fairly picky about what I stitch, and I try not to buy things just for the sake of it. I have to, like, I'll wait and I'll look at something several times before I go and buy it, which I'm quite proud of because I strongly suspect that I have ADHD as well as autism, and obviously one of the key traits of ADHD is being quite impulsive. But for my stitching stuff, I'm quite restrained. I have one box of fabrics. I looked this up a minute ago, in my pattern stash. I have 33 patterns, and that's a mix of like PDFs and very few physical patterns. I'm again fairly, like, if I can get a PDF, I will go do that instead. So 33 patterns and 8 kits of various types. Several of those aren't cross stitch, they're like embroidery or sashiko. So fairly limited stash. I do have a full set of DMC, and I am in the Classic Colourworks thread club from Talking Dog Stitchery, so I am gradually building up my Classic Colourworks collection, and I've got some assorted other fancy threads. My Stitch from Stash plan is, to start a new project, you need 3 things, right? You need a pattern, you need fabric, and you need thread. That's, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I'm not counting things like needles. You need those 3 things to start a new project. My plan is I can buy things. I could buy, say, a pattern if I already have the threads and the fabric, or if I'm like, if it's fancy flosses and I can come up with like a substitution with colours that I already have, that's allowed. I can go buy the pattern because the other 2 things are coming from my stash. If I am using fabric from stash and a pattern from stash, but it calls for fancy threads, or I want a fancy thread, I'm allowed to do that. I can go buy the fancy thread. So basically I can buy things as long as of those 3, the majority, 2 out of the 3, are things I already have. I don't typically buy things just to put it in my stash anyway, but I won't be buying just for stash. It will I'm only buying for specific projects. 2 exceptions to this plan. One, if I run out of a DMC colour, I'm just going to restock it. I want to maintain my master set. That is what it is. I don't feel like I run out of colours that often, but I guess I'm only maybe 18 months into having the master set. I stitch quite a variety of things, so I guess it's not like I'm stitching a massive piece with lots of black or lots of 939 or anything. The second exception is I'm going to carry on my Classic Colourworks subscription, so I will get 5 new Classic Colourworks each month, just to keep that rolling, basically. I don't have any fabric clubs. I would love to, but again, I have my 1 box and I don't really want to overflow the box, and it's currently full. So I'm sure we'll be making some space with this November thing. But yeah, that's the plan. So stitch from stash but modified. I'm not going to be like tracking numbers. I'm not going to give myself credit for certain things. It is just that limitation that 2 out of the 3 I have to already have to be allowed to buy the 3rd. So yeah, I'm excited to give that a go. I'm not gonna, like, if it's making me miserable, we're gonna sack it off, but yeah, I did a video which you, I imagine, will have seen a week or 2 ago. Depends on whether I actually edit and upload both of these on planned timing, but I did a video showing you how I keep track of my digital pattern stash, and it made me open and look at the Notion page that I have for browsing that digital pattern stash, and it made me realise that there's a bunch of stuff on here that I would love to stitch, that I've been meaning to stitch and doing. I mean, a lot of them are from designers I've stitched from before, but yeah, that being a focus for next year felt like a really positive plan. So that is it, I think. I'm sure I will say goodbye and then immediately think of something I've forgotten. Please do tell me if you like the sound of any of these themes. If you want to join in, you're very welcome to. I will talk about each one in a bit more detail in the month beforehand, once I've figured out the nitty gritty. But yeah, let me know if you want to join in, or if you're doing your own themed months. I love hearing what other people are up to, even more so if you've managed to come up with a cool alliterative name. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about these plans, and I hope you've got some lovely stitching done while we've been chatting. Happy stitching and have a good day. Bye!